Okay, the next Fudd Lore is that you should never ever spray oil or any kind of solvent or liquid on a wooden stock. And I've heard this several times. Well, I wouldn't say several, but more than once, right? One was from a video where it was a Q&A where somebody asked, I was told to always store my shotguns muzzle down. Why is that? And the explanation was that when you clean your shotgun and you oil it up, you don't want any of the oil to drip down on the stock, so you should store them muzzle down to keep the oil from seeping into the stock, and the oil can weaken the stock. Well, you know, my logic or my experience is, well, they make furniture oil. Now granted, furniture may or may not experience stresses of a firearm, but I used to put what they call tung oil or linseed oil on stocks to preserve them. And so I'm not quite sure why just the little bit of oil, now for the shotgun case, why the little bit of oil that would be on the barrel of your shotgun or the metal parts of your shotgun would affect the wood. But again, back to, I get that it could be harmful if you doused your firearm with some kind of oil and let it seep in there, not wipe it clean. But I don't know. I know that I do spray this on my 1022 when I clean it, and I wipe it as best I can with a rag. And I've been doing it like beating a dead horse. I've been doing it for 30 years, and what the information said was that it makes the wood punky, right? Or it makes the wood soft. Now, I've never ever, I swear, I've never taken this rifle apart, and supposedly you can just take that one screw out and be able to disassemble the guts. Why I never did it? I just never did, because I never felt the need to. This is a you know, my plinking gun. It's got some character marks on it, right? So it's kind of my beater gun. But I guess you can call it a living torture test. But I put very little care, minimal care, into this rifle, and this thing has always functioned just fine. So let's tear it open and see if all those years of me spraying, most likely WD-40 on the stock, has ruined the wood. So let me set the camera down and we'll take it apart. And no, I am not using a gunsmith screwdriver. Sacrilege, I know. Oh, I scratched it. The guy who did the disassembly video said you don't really need, you know, you can probably even just do it with a what do you call it, a coin or something, but you just take that out there, just like so. And then I think he said to keep from marring your stock right here, sunlight there, to keep from marring your stock, you should kind of push that halfway through, and then just kind of push that through. Oh, I've got the band here. His model didn't have this little band here, so let me take that off. Oh, I scratched it. Oh. Now, I wouldn't treat my my nicer rifles like this, obviously, but you know, like I said, it's a beater gun. There, it's aluminum. See, it's got some character marks on it too. So, all right, let's get this sucker out of here. there's a pin. This pin goes back here, so you got to be careful. It's pretty well oiled up. You see that on my fingers? So that's probably remnant oil from the last time I lubed it up really good. So you got to be careful and remember to put that back in. Not quite sure what it's for, but it's there for a reason, right? I don't know. I guess it's the slide stop. I don't know. I don't know anything about this gun really, but I think there's a pin here that you have to drive through. But that's not why we're here. We are here to see if the wood has gone punky after all those years. And nope. I don't sense any punky wood in here. Let's poke it with something sharp here. Okay, so here's a little screwdriver. So I'm going to get you in the light here. Let me sit it down a little bit more like that, like a so. So, let me go on the light here. Alright. Yeah. Here. You know, there's very little oil here. So, I don't sense any punky wood. I don't know what kind of wood this is. I don't know if it's walnut. But usually punky wood has a thud and doesn't ring, right? Like this. But it seems to be all solid. And again, this is 30 years I've been doing this. Did I say 30 years? Yeah, I've been doing this for 30 years. I know some of you are screaming, "You're ruining the stock! Stop it!" Alright, so you can probably treat this as like a torture test video. But at least for the Ruger 1022, made whatever year this was made out of the wood this was made, I can definitively say that 30 years worth of spraying it with WD-40 does not cause the wood to go punky. I make no claims that it doesn't do it to any stock, but for this stock, it didn't seem to hurt it. So there. So that is that. Fudd Lore, I guess, debunked. So if this relatively inexpensive stock from mass-produced by Ruger did not adversely get affected by years of the scourge of WD-40, then it's probably okay. All right, moving on.